So this is the table for today's game. Don't look back. We're going to be playing by random roll. Where's Pat? We've set up the table a little bit differently. We've got the woodlands, but we added a bunch more of the buildings for the camp setup. Characters for today's game I chose by random mix. And we have Max the Abs, Seth Newton, Denise DeGraw, and Chisaki. And their job is to start way over in the corner section there. We're going to be calling this A, B, C, D. The table's kind of set up funny. We have a number of points of interest tokens around, and those all have to be investigated. The goal is to find Pat and get at least 3 of these people off the table successfully. And we have 14 turns to do that in. We are going to use a random killer when the time comes. So the very first thing we do is we do the fright phase. So we have to roll building tension. This is going to be in a D10. The first turn it takes a 10 to activate the fright tokens. So building tension, we get a 9. So because we do not get a roll of the fright token, it appears in the middle of the table. So we don't have a killer phase yet. We have no lights on. So we'll go straight to the character phase. Characters all get 2 quick actions or 1 quick and 1 long action. We'll start with Seth. Seth is slow. He only moves 3 inches, and he's going to get a jump scare. So we'll move him 3 to there. We do the jump scare. This is again on a roll of D10. We got a 3. Flickering light. Flip all light tokens within 12 inches of the character. Okay. We don't have any, so that's not really an issue. So he'll go ahead and move his second 3. I think we'll move Max next. Max moves 4. He's going to have the same problem. So he's going to roll to here. We're going to roll for, we get a 2. Eerie sounds. Character makes an awareness test. On a failed test, the character trips. Max's awareness is 10. He is fine. He's going to go ahead and move to there. Now let's move this way. Now, Max has a special ability. Baby Blue Eyes may give a female model within his awareness a free move action directly towards Max once per turn. Denise moves 4, so she gets a free move action to there. She was within. Yeah. And then she'll move. Oh, she's got to deal with 2. She has to roll awareness. She rolls 12. Denise's awareness is 8. She's fine. She can do a move to there. And I'm going to go ahead and do a search for her. She finds nothing. And then Chisaki. Chisaki is going to move 4. She's going to roll for an event. Uh-oh, she got a 9. Laugh it off, remove 1 terror point. Okay, no problem. She's going to go for 4. And that's them done. We go to turn 2. This is the first turn they can actually investigate, but as it's unfolded, we never found anything anyway. So this time it is on a 6 or higher. We get an event. We got a 10. So things are going to happen. We have to roll for each of the tokens, starting the furthest away. The furthest away is probably the one in the house. There's one in the center of D in this house. I roll for that. I got a 5. What was that? Move the token 6 inches towards closest character. Goes to there. I'm going to call that the next closest one. That's a 7. That's the same thing, 6 inches towards closest character. This one here, 8, same thing. And lastly, that one probably should have been first. 6, same thing. Terror tokens are coming. Still on monster roll though. Shock is going to go 4. Holden's going to go, same thing. Right besides the fire there. That's going to give a free move to Denise. Denise will take a terror. Denise will come to there. Denise has now got a terror point on her. Seth goes 6. Turn goes to 3. We're flying right through this. This time we roll a d10 on a 5 or higher. It's going to be, it is 7, so they do activate. Furthest one, call it this one, I think. 1. Did you hear that? Remove the token, flip all lights within 6. So this token is gone. Lights would flip, but we don't have any. Next furthest token is probably this one. 10. It's here. Immediately conjure the killer unless you're using the scenario-specific killer and replace the fright token with the killer's model. Once placed, move the killer using its target rules under its MO. So right now we have to go to rolling up the killer. So the MO for the killer is going to be 1. 1 step ahead. The killer always seems to be just in front of you. Always stepping out from behind a tree or out of an eerie doorway. No matter how fast you run, it's always 1 step ahead. Place the killer 6 inches from the characters in the open, as close to the center of the board section that is the most in it. The killer, this is the MO, killer will move towards the closest character. In the case of tie, the players may choose. Of course, when he appears, he's not going to appear by those rules. He's going to appear on that mark. Let's roll for his visage. We get 8. That is going to be disjointed. Disjointeds are rough. You can't, if you look at them, they cause you trouble. Disjointed. Wounds 8. Driven off. When disjointed killers are driven off, immediately replace the killer and follow its MO. Special actions. When a disjointed killer moves, all characters in line of sight gain 1 terror point. Attacks. 1. Shutter step. Disjointed killers target the character in base to base with the most terror points. In the case of a tie, the player may choose. Place a fright token in base to base with the targeted character. Combat 14. Damage 1. Injury and 1 terror point. 2 is secondary, is unnatural crawl. Disjointed killers move 3 inches directly away from models in base to base. If there are no models in base to base, the disjointed killer moves 3 towards the closest. So he's disjointed. And lastly, he gets 2 traits. We roll a 1, which is whispers. Repetitive and constant, even when you plug your ears, they won't stop. Characters are -2 to all actions when they are within 6 inches of the killer. And 5, patient. The wounds from the attacks are precise and deadly. The bleeding just won't stop. Killer will ignore supporting character tokens on a roll of d20 if they get a 9 or higher. I'm going to use my old Wendigo figure. I have a new actual black sight one, but he's not ready to go yet. Next one's going to be this one. That's a 9. That would have conjured the killer, but he's already here. I don't remember what happens in that case, so we'll do this one. 4. Move token 6 inches towards. The killer is already revealed on a fright token of 9 or 10. Roll 1d10. If the result is equal to or less than the killer's current injuries, remove the killer. And place it outside the most isolated kid. Can't do that. So the killer will become enraged. That increases his chance of crits. Oh, that's rough. Killer phase. Start of the killer phase, place the killer following the rules for its MO if it is a second turn after it's been driven off, it isn't, or if no characters can draw a line of sight to the killer. I believe one of us can. Max has got line of sight of the killer. It's not going to be able to be placed. It'll move instead. Once the killer's been placed or it is not in base to base with it, roll a d10 and move the killer that many inches towards its identified target by its MO. It does not move it if it's already in base to base. There's a +2 if the character is tripped and not stood up, and +1 for the terror. He doesn't have any terror yet. Myself for the MO, it's just the closest. So he moves a d10 towards the closest. That is going to be Max. And he moved 7. He's going to move to 2 Max. And Max saw that. Max watched that horrible thing, so he takes a terror. Now we got some problems. It's our turn. Max is going to activate. He's going to take a terror because he's right on that point. I could try to stumble away, but Max is a fighter, right? So Max is now at tier 2. He's going to try his combat. He's got to do a short before the long. I can either take a +3 by concentrating. Max is going to use his +3, then he's going to swing to try to hit the thing. He's got a 10. That's going to make it 13. Didn't need it. That's a hit. Baseball bat, melee, it does 3 injuries. Now we're going to activate Shisaki. She would get a terror, but she doesn't get it on the first turn, so she's going to close. Not get a terror. That's her quick action. And then she's going to swing. Her combat is 10. But she misses. Denise is going to... She's outside. Going to move to here. And she's going to investigate the first token. Let's see if she's found her friend Pat. Nothing interesting, just rocks and insects. So not Pat. And now we have Seth. Oh, Seth would have just taken a... Seth is going to turn on a flashlight. Seeing the creature move, Seth should have taken a terror, but Max loses a terror for being in the light. The creature is going to have to move out, and it gets rid of a terror. So that is them done. Now we go to turn 4. Building tension on turn 4 is now a roll of 4 or higher. We get it. Furthest tokens away. It's probably this one. So it's probably that one now. I rolled a 4. What was that? Moved 6 inches towards the closest character. She's at 6. Yeah, that's her. And the other one, 1. Did you hear that? Remove the token, flip all lights within 6 inches. Oh, good. That would have been bad. So there's only 1 terror token still on the table, but they'll start coming back. And it is the creature's turn. The creature doesn't have to go anywhere. That's what we're going to do. He's in the light. He can't activate. So, he can't attack anybody. He can't target them. He could, and he's in base to base, so I think he's stuck. Can't do his primary action, but his second action is he can move 3 inches directly away and get him out of the light. All right, so now it is our turn. I'm going to go ahead and activate Denise. She's going to go for 4. And then to the... She does get a terror because she started on 1. Do you have to roll? She does not trip. Now what are we going to do? Chisaki's going to go forward. She will have ignored her first terror for watching it move backwards, because that's what she does. She comes forward, she swings to hit. 15, that's a miss. She's not doing very well today. Max is going to come forward. And swing. That's a miss. Seth is going to go into... Oh, the light should have gone off. So it's going to move into the light. Should have moved him first and encouraged. All right, turn 5. Building tension, turn 5 on a roll of 3 or higher on the D10. No. So a new one shows up in the middle of the table. We go to the monster phase. The monster is no longer in the light. So he's going to do his attack, primary on Holden. And on Max, this is a shutter step. That is a crit. It's going to put Create a Terror on Max. Because it's going to take off the Enraged, but it is 2 damage and 2 terror, or 2 wounds to Max. Max is getting to be in trouble. His fright's 4. He's at his fright. He then can do his fall back for 3. And does that do anything else? Falls back for 3. Max has seen him move. Max is now in trouble. And now the light comes back on. Gonna roll for Pat on the bridge, see if Denise finds Pat. There's a new fright token in the middle of the table. And we find Pat. Alright, that's what we wanted. Max is going to... He doesn't have to stumble back. He's going to go back into the light. He's going to take a point, or take a breath. That gets rid of 1 terror point, brings him down to his fright level. And then he's going to use his blue eyes. Chisaki is going to close with the critter and swing. That is a hit. So it does 2 more injuries, but it does take her to the end of her turn. Oh, and she should have a fright now because she watched that. What we want to do? Seth is going to take a look at Max, which will heal his wounds, and he's going to try to encourage Chisaki. And we go to turn 6. Terror points. The furthest, or probably, look at this one. 3. Flickering light, flip all light tokens within 12 inches of the character. That is not good. This one here. 10. Conjure the killer, unless he's already killed. Okay, so this time he's wounded, so we have to roll. He's got 5 injuries. So if I roll over 5, I did. I rolled a 6. No, equal to or less would have made him remove, not attack from isolated. This instead makes him enraged again. Alright. And it goes away. The next one, 2, remove the token and flip all lights within 6. Lights are back on, and the last one there, whoops, 6. Move the token 6 inches towards the nearest character. Alright, so everybody got a token for watching. No, the critter hasn't moved. It's the creature's turn. It's not moving now. Well, it will. It's going to attack first, though. 14. That is a hit. So it does 1 injury and 1 terror to Chisaki. And then it's going to move, which is going to cause everybody a terror. Oh, it's not going to cause Seth, or it's going to move 3 inches away. And that's going to be gone. Oh, and then the light goes back out. Seth is going to try to move 3. Seth is going to start moving out, moving slowly. Chisaki is going to close with the thing. This time she does take a, she's going to swing with that sword. She does 7, that's going to hit. Not enough. It's close though. Denise is going to go, no, she's not going to go. 3. She's going to use her card. She needs to roll higher than 6 on the d20. So Holden is tripped trying to get off the table between these cabins over here. Seth is behind those cabins. It's now turn 7. We're halfway the deadline. I think we're going to be okay. But we have to get 3 people off the table. We have not done yet. So first, fright tokens. There's only one on the table. It's right there. Roll for it. Get 6. Move it 6 inches towards the closest character. That is here. Creature can't move, so it's going to attack Chisaki. It gets a critical failure, so that's good. It'll move 3 inches away from Chisaki, and now it is our turn. Chisaki will, she ignores that first fear for watching him back up, but she's going to take the fear for activating on that action point. She's now just at her fright level. Going to go ahead and swing. She has a +3. She needs a 13. That is a hit for 9. That is 2 points. She has driven the creature off. All right, so everybody gets a point back. Creature is gone for a brief period. I'm going to move Denise, her 6. She has to... What is she at? She's okay. Oh, I'm sorry, it's only 4 for Seth. And Seth is okay. And then he can only move 3. It's now turn 8. We're getting people off the table here. We have to roll first for the fright token. There's only the 1. Is a 3, remove and flip all lights within 6. So it goes away. Next turn they'll appear back on though. The killer, because he's disjointed, he comes back immediately by his MO. His MO, place the killer 6 inches from the characters and in the open as close to the center of the board section that has the most characters in it. That's not good. Normally you'd get a turn off, but he apparently doesn't do that. So he's going to show up here. He's going to attack the one with the most terror on them. It's going to be Max. First thing he has to do is roll D10 and he gets to add 5 to it. No problem. He's going to catch Max. He's going to swing at Max. He's going to hit Max. Max is going to take damage and a terror. Fortunately, I don't think anybody saw that. Saw him move. I'm going to do the flashlight again. Seth. That's going to take a terror off Seth and a terror off Max. He's going to try to get off here. It's 4 inches. He's all right. Going to move Denise, her 6 actions. I'm going to do Max. I'm going to move Max to here to take a breath, 1 terror or 2 injury. He can take 2 terror off because he's in the light. That's what he's going to do. He's going to take 2 light terror off, which he needs. And then he's going to do that draw to get Denise a little closer. And Chisaki is going to probably not. Chisaki's going to start running in. Turn 9. The fright tokens we just placed are going to, the one on the bridge is going to go away, and the light tokens are going to flip. That's not particularly good. And the other one over there is a 4, 6 inches towards closest. Creature's gonna, it's gonna go to base and attack Denise. Needs a 14. It got a 14. It hits Denise, giving her 1 wound and 1 terror. Chisaki watched it move, so she ignores the first terror, and Max saw it move. So he gets a terror. Moves, hits her, pulls back for 3 inches, which means she won't be able to do her thing. And now it is their turn. kid's gonna run. Seth is just gonna try to run off the table. He's not quite there yet. Max is gonna pull backwards. He's gonna take a breath, and he's gonna call Denise towards him. Denise is going to keep going. She does not trip. And Chisaki is going to close. Swing. She hits him for 2. That is the end. Turn 9. It is now turn 10. We have 1 terror token. It moves 6 inches towards closest character. Creature is in base to base, so it's going to attack Chisaki. Does a crit to Chisaki, so that's 2 of each. So Chisaki is over her fright, and then it's going to pull back 3 inches in front of Chisaki. Seth gets off. Holden gets off. Denise and Pat get off. Game is officially over now, but I might as well close with Chisaki. Swings. She misses. And so Chisaki's still fighting the creature, but she's delayed it long enough for everyone to get off the table. This is a win for our side.